Hello everyone, this is Skinny Gamer and I'm back again to do this time of year, the games I beat. This is the 2020 edition. If you saw my previous one of 2019, I haven't seen that one, be sure to check out my video. So anyway, 2020 has been a really difficult year with the pandemic, the lockdown, etc., all the negative stuff and all that stuff. So besides all those things and all that stuff, yeah, this year for me has been like playing more games in my backlog, enjoying my games in my collection, and having fun with them. And even though like buying collecting video games is good, but video games are meant to be played and meant to be entertained and all that stuff. So I beat 25 games this year, which is like way better than the previous games I beat videos and all that stuff. So yeah, so I have a list of games to show you right here. It is a number all the 25 games I beat slash one digital game and all that stuff. So anyway, without further ado, let's get this started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start with number one, which is digital. I beat on the Wii Virtual Console. That is Yoshi Story for the N64. I played this game a little, played Yoshi Story a little bit as a kid, not the whole thing as a kid and all that stuff. I've always playing around with it and all that stuff. So it was an alright game. It's a short game, 6 levels, nothing special. Not a great Yoshi game, but if you're like a fan of Yoshi and all the other stuff, I highly Yoshi fan and all this stuff. Before you like to play the other games in the series and the Yoshi games, all that, I highly recommend checking out Yoshi Story for N64. It's a short game, but it's a really good game. So yeah, number one, Yoshi Story for the N64. All right, start up number two, the games I beat of this year. That is the Game of Year edition of Marvel Spider-Man on the PS4. Now, this is a really great game. It bring back Spider-Man back to his roots. This is the game, probably the game of the year of this last generation and all that. I'm not gonna spoil the details of the story and all that stuff. So you guys need to play for yourself. But this is a really great Spider-Man game. It has the flying, the flying, the swing one effects is great. Everything about this great. They bring back the old enemies and all that stuff is really great. Everything about this game, you feel like Spider-Man and all that stuff. Just like it's like in Spider-Man 2 on the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube and all that, which I still have my copy on the original Xbox and still play from time to time to this day. But yeah, but this game right here, it has the DLC and all that stuff, which I haven't played the DLC yet. I beat the main game already, and this is a really great game. Like if you're a fan of Spider-Man in general, or like Superman games, or open world superhero games and all that stuff, I highly recommend Ultimate Spider-Man Edition and all that stuff, whether the regular version or the Game Year Edition. So be sure to make sure to check this game out before the new one, because people playing the new one like recently and all that stuff. So I highly recommend Marvel Ultimate Spider-Man on the PS4. This is a really a great game to check out. So yeah, that's number two, the games I beat of 2020. So yeah, there's that. Coming up on number three of games I beat in this year, that is Simpsons Road Rage. Like basically, this is a really fun game. It's like Crazy Taxi with the Simpsons twist to it. So yeah, I played this a lot as a kid on the PS2 and all that stuff. So it's a really good game. If you're a fan of Crazy Taxi, if you're a fan of the Simpsons in general, you like to pick up a play, I have fun and all that stuff, like collecting money and dropping out people and all that stuff. If you like Crazy Taxi, if you like the Simpsons in general and all that stuff, I highly recommend Simpsons Road Rage and all that. This is a really good game. So yeah, number three, Simpsons Road Rage on the original Xbox. And coming out number four, the games I beat of this year, that is Star Fox Assault on the Nintendo GameCube. This is a really good Star Fox game, but way better than the horrible, tremendous Star Fox Adventures, aka Dino Planet. This is a really good game. You can do a lot of flying missions and all that stuff. Even though the foot missions are kind of like annoying at times and all that stuff, this is a really good Star Fox game on the GameCube. It's way huge improvement than Star Fox Avengers and all that stuff and all that stuff. And this is a really Star Fox game. So if you've never played Star Fox team before, besides Star Fox 64, I highly recommend playing Star Fox Assault. This is a really good Star Fox game on the GameCube. So that is number 4. The games I beat in 2020. Star Fox Assault on the GameCube. So yeah, there is that. And the 5th game that I beat, if you saw my the skiing game replays of this, you be sure to check that out. That game that I beat is a really short light gun game. It has so much hours in the Time Crisis series playing arcades and all this stuff. Even this one a lot as a teenager, as a kid and all that, playing arcades with roller rings, pizza places and all that stuff. The game that I'm talking about, that is Time Crisis 3 on the PS2. This is a really fun light gun game and all that. We'll play with your friends in the arcades and all that stuff. So it's a really short game, just like other light gun games and all that stuff. If you're a fan of Time Crisis in general, play any Time Crisis game like Time Crisis 2, this one, and all that stuff. So I highly recommend. This is an arcade classic right here. If you have a PS2 and all that, if you have light guns and all that stuff, play this game. You won't regret it. So yeah, Time Crisis 3 on the PS2. So next game that I beat of this year, that is Sonic Mania on the Nintendo Switch. I beat the PS4 version of game in from Matthew's house, aka Game Boy SP13, like years ago and all that. I beat on this, so I got it on the Switch to beat it again this year. It's a really good 2D Sonic game. It's like the mixture of the past, like Sonic past levels from the Sonic games and all that to the new ones and all that stuff. So with the soundtrack and everything is on point, the gameplay is on point, the 2D on point, the difficulty on point, everything about Sonic Mania, 2D Sonic Mania, they made a twist to it. So if you haven't played Sonic Mania and all that, if you're a fan of the 2D Sonic games, I highly recommend playing Sonic Mania on any platform. So yeah, there is that. Coming next game I beat of this year, and that is Wild Guns Reloaded on the PS4. Basically, this is like a remake version of the Super Nintendo game of the original Wild Guns and all that stuff. This one right here, they added like new stages, new bosses, new weapons, and all that stuff. And this game is hard as balls. Like if you've seen the episodes of the gameplays of me and Game Boy SP13, aka Matthew, play this game, it's tough. This game is no freaking joke. This game is hard as balls as fuck. But I beat it and all that with so many continues and all that stuff. So if you're a fan of the Super Nintendo game, if you haven't played the Super Nintendo game and all that stuff, so like I haven't never played the Super Nintendo game, check out Wild Guns Reloaded on PS4. You won't regret it. It's a hard game, but it's a really fun light gun arcade shooting game. So yeah, there's that. The next game that I beat, that is NBA Ballers on the PS2. Which this is a really good NBA game. I remember seeing this a lot during the Game Informers back in the day and all that. There's so many hype about this game and all that stuff. So yeah, this one right here, you could create your own like baller and all that. Yep, you could face like many baller players in the league. Like for example, like Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, Black Mamba, Ivor Iverson, Tim Duncan, Shaq, so forth, so forth. Basically, the NBA players of the 2000s and all that stuff. So you get like money, get like cars, get like cell phones, bling jewelry, and all that stuff. So if you're a fan of the NBA in general and all that stuff, especially the late 90s and the early 2000s NBA and all that stuff, I highly recommend NBA Ballers on the PS2 or Xbox. So this is a really good game right here. So NBA Ballers on the PS2. And then next up is 2 Wii U games that I beat. It was 2 of them, which I started with the first one right here, and that is the original Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U. Yeah, it took me a long time to beat, like getting all the characters, getting all the missions, and all that stuff. Basically, it's like Dynasty Warriors in the Zelda version of it. So yeah, so if you're a fan, like everything about this game is so great. Like even though they have the definitive version on the Nintendo Switch and all that stuff, so get this one. It's really cheap on the Wii U. Like some of the Wii U games are kind of like cheap nowadays. Like if you don't want to get like a Nintendo Switch and all that, want to pay like don't want to pay like $60 for the game and all that, get the original Hyrule Warriors Wii U. You won't regret it. It's like Dynasty Wars with Legend of Zelda in it. It's a really great game on the Wii U. So the story's on point. Everything's on point. If you're a fan of Zelda, if you're a fan of Dynasty Warriors gameplay and all that stuff, I highly recommend Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U. So this is a really great game. So yeah, there's that. The next game that I beat of this year, another Wii U game that I beat, and that is Yoshi World War. This is a really great Yoshi game. This is a way better than Yoshi's Story and all that stuff. So this is a really great game. It's so cutesy. Everything about this game is so cutesy. It's like a yarn Yoshi and all that stuff. You have different kind of like a color Yoshi and all that stuff. Everything about this game is so magical, so colorful and all that stuff. So yeah, I need to play the recent one on the Switch and all that Crafted World and all that stuff. But if you're a fan of Yoshi in general, so if you've never played a Yoshi game before with your kids and all that stuff, I highly recommend Yoshi World War on the Wii U. This is a really fun, cute Yoshi game. It's really short on the shorthand and all that stuff. So it's so many collectibles in this game. Like it has some replay value to it. So I feel like I can beat this game over and over and over again. So if you like Yoshi in general and all that stuff, if you like cute Yoshis, like Yoshi game like this, play Yoshi World War. This is a really cute Yoshi game. A really cry Yoshi game. Even have like Pushy in it too. I highly recommend playing on the Wii U or the 3DS version of it. So yeah, Yoshi World War. This is a really great game. I highly recommend it on the Wii U or the 3DS and all that. So yeah, there is that. And then next game that I beat, that is Darkwing Duck on the NES. This game, I loved the cartoon as a kid, but playing game as an adult, it is hard as balls. It's like Mega Man in the Disney version of it. So if you like challenging games or harder games and all that stuff, good luck with Darkwing Duck. It's really hard, really short at times, make you frustrated, want to throw the controller at times. But Darkwing Duck, if you're a fan of the cartoon and a fan of Capcom games in general, play Darkwing Duck. You are raged at the controller sometimes, but you get the enjoyment out of it. So yeah, another game that I beat of 2020. So yeah, there's that. And next game that I beat, this is a really fun Mario game on the 3DS and all that stuff. Before Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U, which I enjoyed a lot when I played with my sister and all that stuff. That is Super Mario 3D Land on the 3DS. This is a really great Mario game on the 3DS. They have like, especially you playing in like 3D and all that. They have like show like a 3D effects and all that stuff. This is a really great game, along with Super Mario 3D World on Wii U when me and my sister beat so many years ago and all that. So this is a launch. This is a really great launch title on the 3DS. So if you're a fan of, and it's a short game too and all that stuff. So it's a short Mario game too and all that. So if you never played a Mario game before, if you like the fan of 3D Mario games and the classic Mario style to it and all that, if you have a 3DS, play Super Mario 3D Land. You won't regret it. It's a really fun Mario game. It has a lot of replay fallibility to it. You could be like a boomerang, Tanuki suit, the suit. Everything about this game, is so on point to this game. So if you never played 3D, if you're a fan of Super Mario 3D World, I highly recommend playing this first before 3D World. So yeah, Super Mario 3D Land on the 3DS is a really great game. This is a game I beat of this year. So yeah, there's that. And the next two PS1 games that I beat, even though I don't have cases for them, that is the original Crash Team Racing on the PS1. This is a really great racing game, but harder than Mario Kart. Like there's a one thing really cool about this game right here. They have like adventure modes. You could drive like any world and all that. There's race like different tracks and all that. It collect like crystals and all that other stuff and all that stuff. Yeah, this is a really good game, but it's harder, difficult than Mario Kart because of the drifting and the all that stuff. So this is took time to really get used to. But if you're a fan of like Crash and you're a fan of racing in general, just like Mario Kart and all that, if you like harder games and all that racing games and all that stuff, or like give like a challenge, I highly recommend the original Crash Team Racing. It's a really great game. I need to play the remake of this very soon. So yeah, there's that. And another PS1 game that I beat, that is Inuyasha, if you do a fairy tale on PS1. This is a really good Inuyasha game. You pick up like an Inuyasha character, in order, and you fight like each and every Inuyasha character, and you collect like jewel shards from the anime and all that stuff. So I'm a huge Inuyasha fan. If you're a fan of Inuyasha in general, I highly recommend this game. You could find it like you give. I got this for like $8, like a couple months, years back and all that before this game shot up in price like 25 to $30 and all that stuff. So if you're a fan of Inuyasha and all that stuff, like get this game, like get this cheaper while I can. Don't pay like 25, $30 and all that for this game and all that stuff. So if you're a fan of Inuyasha and all that stuff, if you're a fan of the anime in general and stuff, I highly recommend this game. It's so worth it. So yeah, there is that. And the next game that I beat, I meant to pick out the second one. Meant to pick out the second one and all that. Meant to pick out the second one, which I beat. That is Gears of War 1 on the Xbox 360. This is a really great shooter. Even the story was great. The shooting was great. Everything was great. Like even though I'm not good at shooting games like multiplayer and all that stuff, like in like Call of Duty games and all that, I play for the single player, not only multiplayer because like I suck at multiplayer and all that, but the single player and all that was really good. Everything about Gears of War is a really great game. It's a really story about Marcus Venus, show out the aliens and all the other stuff. It's a really great first person shooter game. I haven't played it in the minute since my old Xbox 360 was not stopped working and all that stuff. So since I got the new Xbox 360 and all that, and transfer everything into the new one and all that stuff. It continued with the story and all that stuff. Man, I have a blast playing with Gears of War 1 and all that stuff. I can't wait to beat the other ones on the Xbox 360. So, if you're a fan of like shooting games and all that stuff and never played a shooting game, highly recommend playing Gears of War 1 and all that stuff before the rest of the series and all that. So, yeah, this is another game that I beat of this year. So, yeah, there's that. The next game that I beat it on the Xbox 360 60 years ago and all that stuff. I beat the remaster of this. This is my favorite Call of Duty of all time and all that stuff. That is the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare remaster, not the recent one and all that, but the original one. This is a really great single multiplayer. Even to this day, if you play on the Xbox 360 like years ago and all the other stuff, this is a really great Call of Duty game. This is my favorite Call of Duty game in the series, besides the other ones. Like every time they come out with a new Call of Duty or all the same and all that, Call of Duty went downhill after this one, after Modern Warfare 2, in my opinion. So yeah, if you're a fan of Call of Duty and all this stuff, this is a fan favorite right here. The Modern Warfare remaster. I highly recommend it. It's still so expensive. Like you see this like 30, it costs like $35, $40 and all that stuff for like a remastered version of it, either on the PS4, the Xbox One and all that stuff. But if you never played the original on the 360, I highly recommend the original Modern Warfare remaster. So worth it. So yeah, there is that. And next two games I beat, the next two games I beat in the series, that is the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I beat the Crash 2 Remastered. This is a really great good Crash game. Great Crash game, hard Crash game. Like kind of like the first one, but the second one take it to the whole another level. Yeah, every that is so hard to this day. I beat it and all that stuff. Even though I played a little bit the second one, the original second one as a kid, it's so hard. So yeah, if you like it, if you if you like harder challenging games, harder Crash games, and all that stuff, good luck on Crash 2. And then Crash 3 is a fantastic one. It's probably the easiest of the Crash games and all that stuff, besides 1 and 2, because I beat Crash 1, the original one, on the PS1 hard, second one remastered hard, but the third one is kind of easiest in my opinion and all that stuff. So if you like easy Crash games and all that, and not want to go in the harder difficult route, I highly recommend playing Crash 3 and all that. Even though I played a little bit original on number 3 as a kid, but still, highly recommend Crash 3. The only thing I don't like about the Insane Trilogy is the timing of the jumping is so really off. Like every time, like the timing of the jumping is so off, and you die like really quick. So, like if you try to get the Insane Trilogy and all that, be warned about this collection and all that. The timing is off, the jumping is off, everything about the timing so about this so off. But besides that, but Crash 2 and 3 remastered, I beat. I beat two Crash games on the PS4. If you have never played Crash Bandicoot before, I highly recommend the Insane Trilogy on the PS4 or any other system. So yeah, there is that. And next game that I beat, that is Samurai Showdown, the 2019 edition. This game, they made a reboot from the bottom to the top. This is a really great fighting game and all this stuff. I got all the character endings. They brought this and King of Fighters 14 back to its 14 back to its roots. Besides Street Fighter 5 and all that stuff, but this is the best fight game of the year and all that stuff. So it had a little bloody, little arcade feel to it, like the original games and all that stuff. So if you haven't played Samurai Showdown, if you're a fan of SAK, I highly recommend Samurai Showdown. This is a really fun fight game. So yeah, there's that. The next game that I beat, I know they have the remaster on the PS4 and all that stuff. That game that I'm talking about, that is Onimusha Warlords on the PS2. I remember seeing this commercial as a kid, and I'm playing it for the first time of this year. This is a really great action game. It's like Resident Evil. It's not like Resident Evil, but the controls like Resident Evil, but it's like in a samurai setting in feudal Japan and all that stuff. So, like, if this game that has the same mechanics like Resident Evil, like be careful with the items and all that stuff, or else this game will fuck you over really quickly. Even with the tank controls, with the Resident Evil tank controls in the action game like this, it fucks you over really quickly. So yeah, I beat this game. It took me about like 5 or 6 hours to beat. So if you're a fan of like samurai games or like Resident Evil tank controls and all of stuff, I highly recommend only original Onimusha on the PS2. I will play the other ones really soon. So yeah, there is that. And the next game that I beat, and that is Lollipop Chainsaw on the PlayStation 3. This is a fantastic game. It made by Warner Brothers Games. It's the same creators they made like the current Mortal Kombat games and all this stuff. This is a really fun fun hack and slash game. You like this lady with the high school and all that choppy up zombies with the chainsaw and all that. You use her boyfriend to do some special things and all that stuff. They have like 80s music and all other stuff. This is a fun hack and slash game. Like if you never play Lollipop Chainsaw and all that stuff, what are you waiting for? This is a really fun hack and slash game. You can play on the PS3 or Xbox 360. So if you never played hack and slash games before, get Lollipop Chainsaw. Really worth it. So yeah, this is another game I beat for this year. So yeah, there's that. Put it to the ground. Next up, another hack and slash game. That is Heavenly Sword on the PS3. This is like an alright game for like a launch title on the PS3. It's gonna be like 5 or 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours to beat. It kind of like God of War. It kind of like a God of War clone in that sense. So yeah, so it's nothing special. The story isn't that great. It's nothing special really, but you like shorter like hack and slash games and like shorter hack and slash games, I highly recommend Heavenly Sword on the PS3. So yeah, it's an alright game to check out. And next game that I beat, and that is Kirby Return to Dreamland on the Nintendo Wii. This is like new Super Mario Bros. Wii in the Kirby section and all that stuff. So this is a really good Kirby game. Is way better than Epic Yarn in my opinion. So if you're a fan of Kirby games and all that stuff, if you like a fan of New Super Mario Bros. Wii type of style game with your friends and your family and all that stuff, play Kirby Return to Dreamland. It is really highly recommended. Like you can use like you could combine powers with your sword and all that stuff. You do like new powers and all of this stuff. So if you're a fan of Kirby in general and all that stuff, play Kirby Return to Dreamland on Nintendo Wii. This is a really awesome Kirby game in the Kirby series if you haven't played a Kirby game before. So yeah, you can get this for like 20 to 25 bucks nowadays. So yeah, highly recommend this game. So yeah, there's that. And next game that I beat on the Nintendo Wii, it took me like 11 years to beat after I went back to it and all that. I stopped playing it for a while. That is Mad World on the Nintendo Wii. This is a really great game on the Wii. You can use your motion controls like has slash your chainsaw and all that. Beat some use motion controls to beat out monsters and enemies and all the other stuff. This is the fun about like Platinum Games and all that stuff. The same creator who made like Anarchy Reigns and Bayonetta and all that stuff. Yeah, even like bloody games and all that stuff. This is kind of like you basically of this game. You're this guy named Jack. Is you doing in the game show called Death Watch and all that stuff. You have to do some sort of like challenges, or you keep you survive and all the other stuff. So yeah, if you've seen these games for really cheap, if it's cheap, really pick it up. Mad World on Nintendo Wii is you won't regret it. This is a really fun games if you like these type of games right here. So yeah, it took me 11 years to beat and all that stuff. It took me a long time to beat it and all that stuff. So if you like those type of games and all that stuff, play Mad World on the Wii. I highly recommend it. And then the last game that I beat in 2020 of this year, and that is Naruto Uzumaki Chronicles on PS2. I played this game during middle school and all that and I don't know what to do as a kid. Like I played like randomly, like all that. I was keep like playing, pressing, and attacking, and all that stuff, and get like game over like really quick. But now playing it now, it's like it's kind of like RPG, like strategy and all that stuff. So you can level up Naruto's health, his stamina, and all of his stuff and all that. But the only thing I don't like about this game is the repetitive stuff. Like you point out the map where you go and all that. Every time you point out the map and all that stuff, it take you to the like a random spot. You fight all the enemies and all that stuff. Enemies, all that stuff. That's the most repetitive thing in the game. And the story, back then, the story was great for its time. But look at it now, the story, not that satisfying from the anime of the original. So, I I like the second one way better than this one right here. But if you never played like a Naruto game before and all that stuff, if you don't have a PS2 and all that, if you're a fan like the original Naruto, like myself and all that stuff, um, play Naruto Uzumaki Chronicles. Like, beware of the repetitive stuff and all that stuff, and be sure you know what you're doing and all that stuff. And this game is really hard at times. So, if you're a fan of Naruto, the original Naruto, like myself and all that stuff, looks like I have my Naruto collection stuff over here. I highly play Naruto Uzumaki Chronicles on the PS2. This is a really good game, alright game, repetitive game, all in general. So yeah, there is that. So that is it for the games I beat of 2020. 2020 has been a really good year for me of playing games in my collection, big games on my backlog, and all that stuff. So I'll be sure to like do more, beat more games in my collection this year. focus on my backlog, playing more games on my collection of the new year and all that stuff for the new year. So tell me in the comments below what game do you have beat for this year. So make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. If you want to follow me up with more upcoming videos, check out my Facebook fan page at facebook.com/tsgamer7. And I'll see y'all next time with another video. Thank you very much, and goodbye.